Hi, I'm Donna from Evoker, and welcome to the next video in our character creation set. Today's video we'll be creating the head of our character. So to start, we'll open up our main body and we will hide that. And we'll go to the front view and we'll zoom in on the head. Okay, so we want to open also our topological map, and our concept. So we have both of these set to the side, so we have them to reference. I will always be going back and forth between the two. The topology map is there as a guide for us when we create our mesh, to help us get the look and feel of the character and also make her ready for animation. So we'll be starting here in this edge loop around the eye. I've also got my zygote body open as well, so I can see where the musculature is of the face. So I'll move these to the side so I can keep referencing them, and I'm going to zoom here in on the face, and I'm going to create just a single plane. So in your create tab, hit plane and just drag out a rectangle shape. So we're going to change our length and width segments to just 1. So I'm just right clicking on the spinners there to set that to 1, or you can just type in 1 in the box. Once that's done, we can go to our modifier tab and convert to editable poly, and we can start to shape our eye. One other thing to help us get the correct shape, we'll create a temporary eye for our placeholder eye that we can model around. So just go to the create tab again and go to sphere, and then just drag and create our sphere for our eye. So I'm going to go to X-ray mode, and now I'm going to change my segments so that there's enough segments to match the size of our pupil here. So this is just a visual aid for me when as we model. So we'll just drop these segments down until it's about the same size as our pupil there. Okay, so that's about right. And also I'm going to make these editable poly now that we've got the segments correct. I'm going to rotate ever so slightly and move back into position. Okay, so I'm going to go into the side view now, and bring that forward so it sits where the eye should be, or is. Okay, and then I'm going to grab this vertex here and the side. I'm going to flatten it off so I can have a visual reference of where the iris is. And actually make it a bit concave. So pull it back in a little bit into the eyeball. So bring that back. I'll grab these polygons here for where the pupil is. Make sure I haven't selected anything else on that sphere. So it's just the front. And I'm going to go down to my smoothing groups and change it to a different smoothing group. So we've got a temporary pupil there so we can see where the eye is. Then we need to obviously have two eyes so we can see what it will look like when the head is whole. So to do that, we're going to affect our pivot only. So in our hierarchy tab, affect pivot only, and we're going to zero out our x-axis axis. There we go. We're going to zero out our x-axis. I'm then going to reset my x-forms and collapse that stack, and I'm just going to use symmetry now to create the two eyes. And now I'll name that eyes, and in my layer I'll just make sure it's correct. Yep, and I'll hit freeze. Yeah, it doesn't matter if they're grey. Okay, so now we'll click off that and we'll find where the plane is. Where'd that go? There we go. Select our plane and we'll bring that forward in front of the eye. I actually need to make these eyes see-through to begin with. No. I'll freeze those. We'll turn our eyes off for now as we work on this plane. So we'll go back into the front and we're going to position this around the eye. So we're mimicking, where is it? We're mimicking this edge loop around here, so around the eye. And so it's mimicking, which is mimicking this muscle group. So in the side view, this polygon's actually going to be the lower lid of our eye. Okay, so we want to position it like that. And I'm going to grab this edge here. I'm holding shift. I'm going to drag out once, click off, drag again, twice, 3 times to create this inner part where the tear duct would be, or is. So I'm just zooming out just to see the overall look and shape of the eye, because the image itself is a little bit blurry when you bring it in. So she's got her eye, her tear duct comes down here. So just moving these into position around the eye. And we're going to grab this edge again and start extruding. So we'll go 1 to bring it up here. So you can see we're just focusing in the front at the moment. We'll worry about the side later, where we have to bring back our sphere so we can shape it around the eye. Extrude again, and again to about the center of that pupil there. So we can make this see-through again by hitting Alt-X on the keyboard, so we can make sure that we're following the line of our eye, because her eyes are highly stylized. It's an odd shape to be working with. It's also quite a large eye. I have a feeling that we'll have to rescale this at a later date, because normally when we create a character there's one eye space between the two eyes. So since her eyes are so large, there should be a much wider gap between these two eyes here. I think in 3D, when we build this, she's going to look a little bit alien-ish. So we may have to scale down these eyes, but for now we'll follow the concept. So this is going to be the corner of the eye here. To connect these two shapes, I'm just going to select this edge and hit bridge, and then I'm going to move these into a better position around the eye, just to even out the edges a little bit more. So just continue to tweak and get the shape. I think we're close to being set for now, so we'll move into the side viewport. Bring back our eyes, so just unhide those eyes in the layers palette, and we'll start to shape this more to the curve of our temporary eyes. So we don't want them to sit directly on the eyeball, but we do want to get quite close. So this will be the eyelid down here. We'll bring this further out. So we're going to extrude back into the eye at some point to create the waterline, the edge of our eye. So just follow that around into the curve of the eyeball. So just looking back in the side view again, and just checking the shape of the eyes. So I'm going to turn the eyes off now and continue. So we know that this is the shape of the eye. And you can see if we tried to follow the shape of the eye that's drawn on the concept, we'd go far too much back into the side of the head, and it'd almost be like an Egyptian hieroglyph. It's staring at you from the wrong angle. Just bringing these forward a bit. Just tweaking these a little bit. So we want to get this shape as close to something that we're happy with as close as possible, because it's the foundation of the rest of our face. Now, I want to grab the tear duct. There it is. I'm going to bring that out a bit more. Okay, so now I'm happy with this for now. So I'm going to grab the polygon, go into my polygon mode. So either by selecting here again or using the keyboard shortcut. So that's what, 4. I'm going to grab this polygon and I'm just going to click and hold shift and drag down. So when it asks you clone part of mesh, you go clone to element, so it'll keep everything all as one object. If you want this to be a separate object, you go clone to object. So I'm just going to leave it on clone to element and hit OK. And then I'm going to start following the edge of the lip. So this will be the top of the lip. Outside, we're not going to do the actual lips at the moment, so we're just going around, following the muscle group around the mouth here. And again, following our topology map. Okay, so we want to zero these out on the x-axis for the symmetry purposes. So we're going to hit 0 here. Just right click on the arrow spinners there to bring that into the x, 0 on the x, and we're just going to follow around the mouth here. I'm going to extrude, so holding shift again and dragging. Start to create this edge lip around our mouth. Okay, so that's fine from the front. So now we're going to move, I'm going to change these here. Just bring these down just a fraction. Okay, so now moving into the side, we're going to shape like we did with the eye, we're going to do for the mouth, but this time we're going to follow the image plane. Okay, so I'm going to change my view from the 4 to side by side, and so that this one will be the front and this one is the left viewport. To do that, just click on the arrow here and create new viewport layout, and then pick just side by side, and you can go up and select which one you want, so left and front, or you can hit L and F. So this will allow me to grab the vertices in the front viewport and adjust them in the side. So just continuing around the mouth and making sure that it adheres to our silhouette and our image plane. So just around the outside of the mouth. Okay, so that's starting to look pretty good. Now we can start to fill in our space between the eye and the mouth. So we're going to grab these two edges and extrude them up to the base of the nose. So this should still be at 0 on the X. And we're just shaping this so it sits on the base of the nose. And again, in the side view, bring it back to follow our silhouette and our profile. Okay, so to continuing that, we're going to grab these two edges here and these two at the edge of the mouth here. And we're going to bridge that to create, may as well grab this one as well and bridge that. So we create polygons between the eye and the mouth. So we'll also grab these ones here and we'll extrude them out and bring them up a little. Grab these ones and we want to, again, to the center of our grid on the X. And then into the side viewport and bring them forward to match our profile. And again, here on the side, we're going to drag this one out. And this one will be at the top of the nostril there. Okay. I'm going to save this here now, so hit Control S. And we'll pick this up in the next video.